Welcome to Dog Finance. Today we dive into one of the biggest myths in the crypto world, anonymity. Since Bitcoin's creation in 2009, cryptocurrencies have been celebrated as the ultimate tool for financial freedom, an escape from state and banking surveillance. The promise was simple. No one could track your money, no one would know what you buy, no one would control your transactions. But was this promise real? Or was it just an illusion? In this video, we'll reveal the disturbing truth about how governments, intelligence agencies, and private companies have developed sophisticated technologies to track your every move on the blockchain, and how, paradoxically, the very transparency that gives blockchain its strength has become the perfect tool for unprecedented mass surveillance. Contrary to what many believe, public blockchains like Bitcoin's are not anonymous but pseudonymous, and the difference is not trivial. Every transaction you've ever made is recorded for eternity, visible to all, simply waiting for someone to link it to your real identity. Today we'll show you how governments trace these transactions, the techniques they use, the companies that help them, and most importantly, what you can do to protect yourself. Buckle up. What you're about to discover might forever change how you use cryptocurrencies. To understand how governments monitor cryptocurrencies, we must first understand a fundamental truth. Blockchain was never designed to be anonymous. Take Bitcoin. Every transaction is public, recorded in a ledger that anyone can view. This ledger contains the sending address, receiving address, amount, date, and time. Everything is there, in plain sight. Look for yourself. Here's a real Bitcoin wallet showing transaction history. We can see that on March 8th, 2024, this user sent 0.00179659 Bitcoin to address 3JX3GKS2.LVH 7GZXIBQ 9U at 11:59 a.m. On February 27th, they received 0.00026201 Bitcoin from address 39 PYHB.2JQP4GEGHB8. The wallet shows a total balance of $739.42 or 0.010172283 Bitcoin, with Bitcoin trading at $72,685.65 at that time. This transparency is blockchain's strength. It allows everyone to verify that everything is happening correctly, without needing to trust a central authority. But this transparency comes at a price. Bitcoin isn't anonymous, it's pseudonymous. It's like writing a book under a pseudonym. As long as no one links the pseudonym to your real identity, you remain anonymous. But once that link is established, all your past and future actions under that pseudonym are immediately associated with you. And that's exactly what governments do. They seek to establish this link. Once they associate a Bitcoin address with your real identity, they can track all your transactions, past, present, and future. Worse still, they can track the people you interact with. In 2013, Ross Ulbricht, creator of the Silk Road dark market, was arrested, partly thanks to blockchain analysis. The FBI was able to trace millions of dollars in Bitcoin from Silk Road servers to Ulbricht's personal wallets. Despite his technical expertise, the transparent nature of the blockchain was his Achilles heel. But how exactly do authorities make these connections? That's what we're about to see. Governments and specialized companies have developed an impressive arsenal of techniques to demystify the blockchain. Here are the main ones. Cluster analysis is the most fundamental technique. It involves grouping multiple addresses suspected of belonging to the same entity. How? By observing typical behaviors. Imagine you send one Bitcoin from address A to a new address B, but the transaction generates zero point 0.7 Bitcoin to address B and zero point 0.3 Bitcoin change to a newly created address C. Heuristic analysis suggests that addresses A and C likely belong to the same person. Chainalysis, a company working with the FBI, IRS, and other government agencies, claims to be able to group millions of Bitcoin addresses into just a few thousand distinct entities using these techniques. This technique examines the taint, or contamination, between addresses. If one Bitcoin from illicit activity is sent to a new address that already contains 9 legitimate Bitcoins, this address is now contaminated at 10%. Governments use this metric to assess your level of association with suspicious activities. In 2020, the IRS offered a $625,000 contract to Chainalysis to develop tools capable of tracing Monero transactions, despite its reputation for anonymity. Their goal? To follow the money, even on supposedly untraceable cryptocurrencies. This method studies the temporal patterns of your transactions. Do you always make transactions on Tuesday evenings? Do you regularly send funds at the beginning of the month? These patterns create a unique digital fingerprint that can be used to identify you. Government agencies build complete transaction graphs, visualizing financial flows as a social network. These visualizations reveal patterns invisible to the naked eye and allow identification of user communities, their financial habits, and their connections. In 2021, the U.S. agency IRS-CI, Criminal Investigation, revealed having used graph analysis to dismantle a money laundering network involving more than $300 million in cryptocurrencies. They were able to visualize how money circulated between thousands of addresses before being converted to fiat currency. Now that we understand the analysis techniques, let's see how governments obtain the initial link between a crypto address and a real identity. These contact points are the weak links in your anonymity. Number 1. Centralized exchanges, KYC. This is the most obvious entry point. When you create an account on Coinbase, Binance, or Kraken, you must provide your complete identity. The famous KYC, Know Your Customer. From that moment, all addresses linked to your account are associated with your real identity. In 2018, the IRS obtained data from more than 14,000 Coinbase users who had exchanged more than $20,000 in cryptocurrencies. A simple court order was enough for Coinbase to deliver all information: names, addresses, tax identification numbers, and complete transaction history. Number 2. IP address analysis. When you make a transaction, it is broadcast from your IP address. Special nodes in the network, controlled by surveillance companies or government agencies, record this information and can thus link your IP address to your Bitcoin addresses. A 2019 report showed that with just 8 strategically placed nodes on the Bitcoin network, it was possible to identify the origin of 60% of transactions in real time. The NSA reportedly developed a program named OAK-STAR specifically for this task. Number 3. Metadata and behavioral analysis. Your online habits leave traces. The time you make your transactions, the specific amounts you regularly send, your way of using wallets, all of this creates a unique digital fingerprint. In the Mt. Gox hacking case, authorities identified Alexander Vinnik, partly thanks to his connection habits. He systematically connected at the same hours from the same region, creating a behavioral pattern that allowed him to be identified despite his efforts to remain anonymous. Number 4. Real-world purchase surveillance. Buying a physical good with cryptocurrencies typically involves a delivery address. As soon as you provide this information, you create a direct link between your crypto address and your physical identity. In 2017, German police arrested a drug dealer who used Bitcoin. How did they identify him? He had ordered a jacket with Bitcoin and provided his real delivery address. This simple mistake allowed investigators to link his Bitcoin address to his identity and trace all his past transactions. Who exactly is monitoring you? Contrary to what one might think, it's not just isolated government agencies, it's an entire ecosystem that has developed. Number 1. Blockchain analysis. Companies. Companies like Chainalysis, Elliptic, and CipherTrace have specialized in blockchain analysis and transaction de-anonymization. Their clients? Governments, law enforcement, and financial institutions. Chainalysis, the industry leader, has contracts with more than 350 clients in 38 countries, including the IRS, FBI, DEA, Europol, and tax services from numerous countries. In 2020, the company signed over $10 million in contracts with the US government alone. Number 2. Government agencies. The NSA, IRS, FBI, Europol, and their equivalents in other countries have all developed internal capabilities for tracking cryptocurrencies. The IRS even has a special unit called Cyber Crimes Unit, specifically dedicated to cryptocurrencies. In 2021, a leaked internal IRS document revealed Operation Hidden Treasure, an initiative focused on identifying tax evaders using cryptocurrencies. Agents specially trained in blockchain analysis look for specific signs of tax fraud on blockchains. Number 3. Centralized exchanges. Exchanges are not just entry points for surveillance, they are often active participants. Coinbase created Coinbase Analytics, formerly Neutrino, a blockchain analysis tool they sold to the IRS and DEA. In 2019, Coinbase acquired Neutrino, a blockchain analysis company whose founders were linked to Hacking Team, a controversial company that sold surveillance tools to authoritarian regimes. Following outcry in the crypto community, Coinbase renamed the technology but continues to use and sell it to government agencies. Number 4. Chain analysis clusters. These different actors don't work in isolation. They form a collaborative network, sharing information and technologies. An address identified by an exchange in South Korea can end up in the FBI database within days. Faced with this surveillance ecosystem, are there still ways to preserve your financial privacy? Yes, but they require vigilance and technical knowledge. Number 1. Privacy-focused cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies like Monero, Zcash with protected transactions, or Grin were designed specifically for privacy. Monero, for example, obscures both sending and receiving addresses as well as transaction amounts. Important warning, even these currencies are not completely invulnerable. In 2020, CipherTrace announced it had developed tools to trace Monero transactions, although the actual effectiveness of these tools remains contested by the community. Number 2. Mixers and coin join. Mixing services combine your cryptocurrencies with those of other users to obscure their origin. Protocols like Wasabi Wallet or Join Market implement coin join, a technique that allows you to mix your bitcoins with those of other users without trusting a third party. Recent fact, in 2022, the US government sanctioned Tornado Cash, a popular Ethereum mixer, prohibiting US citizens from using it. This shows how much these tools are perceived as a threat by authorities. Number 3, good operational security practices. Use a VPN or Tor when making transactions. Create new addresses for each transaction. Avoid recurring patterns in your transactions. Never associate your crypto addresses with your real identity. Use hardware wallets not associated with your identity. Practical example. Imagine you want to make an anonymous donation to an organization. Buy Bitcoins, P2P, without KYC. Transfer them to a newly created wallet via Tor. Use a coin join service, then send the cleaned Bitcoins to the organization. These steps, though imperfect, significantly increase the difficulty of tracing. Number 4, decentralized exchanges and P2P decentralized exchange platforms like BISC or HODL HODL allow buying and selling cryptocurrencies without KYC. In-person exchanges or via P2P platforms can also avoid direct association between your identity and your crypto addresses. Legal caution. In many countries, undeclared financial transactions beyond certain amounts may be illegal. This video aims to inform, not to encourage, activities contrary to the laws of your country. The truth about blockchain surveillance is both simple and complex. Simple, because the fundamentals are clear. Blockchain is transparent by design, and this transparency is used against you by those who wish to monitor your financial activities. Complex, because the techniques and tools are constantly evolving in this arms race between surveillance and privacy. What we are currently experiencing is a fundamental battle to define the future of money. On one side, governments and institutions are pushing for total control via CBDCs, central bank digital currencies that would allow unprecedented surveillance. On the other, privacy advocates are developing technologies to preserve this fundamental right to financial confidentiality. The question is not just technical, it's deeply political and philosophical. In what type of society do we wish to live? One where every transaction is scrutinized, analyzed, and judged? Or one where we preserve spaces for freedom and privacy? Whatever your position on this debate, one thing is certain. Knowledge is your best defense. Understanding how blockchain surveillance works is the first step to regaining control of your digital financial life. If this video has been useful to you, don't forget to subscribe for more content on technology, privacy, and freedom in the digital age. Thank you for watching, and stay vigilant.